So as I was making another video that was meant to be based on the Pokimane and Fed situation, basically just calling Poki a ruthless businesswoman, that was the video, but that's now scrapped because out of nowhere, Destiny decides to come up on my notifications list, and it's with a video basically with an extended response from Pokimane, and it gave a lot of context to some situations that happened. You should also watch the Destiny video, the full hour, if you really want to know about what I'm talking about, or if you just want to know about the whole situation. He does cover it very well and very clearly. So starting off with the Yvonnie situation, with Fed's leaked response, it didn't give us much context or any strong evidence. Fed's only real strong point that was involving the Yvonnie situation, and not the situation that he touched them inappropriately, the one that's currently happening right now about her getting fired, how Pokimane was kind of urging him to fire her and to release her from her role because apparently she wasn't working hard enough or doing her role properly because she was streaming as well as trying to fulfill her roles, which is pretty hard to like multitask, I won't lie, especially when you want to give your all to like your content while also giving your all to whatever your job is and not having one of them fall behind, if you get what I mean, like lack while the other is much better. I think that's the kind of situation that happened, but it was more of Yvonne was more focused on streaming rather than actually fulfilling her role at the highest of standards. Don't take my word on that. This is just me saying whatever. Anyway, in Fed's response, he must have said that Pokimane wanted her out, and he backed up the statement with a couple screenshots showing evidence. However, now Pokimane, in her response, have given us more context and screenshots, overall completely cancelling Fed's point and also makes him look a lot worse because it now looks like he's just completely lied, and I'm not gonna lie, that's what it certainly looks like. Because what she done is that she provided dates, and these dates were from way back before she actually started criticizing Yvonnie, which was after a bunch of just venting from Fed about how Yvonnie didn't talk to him or either was distancing herself from him, which is understandable since she's just gone through an inappropriate situation with him. So obviously she would distance herself or not be as in much contact as you usually were, because you did something that you could be easily jailed for, whether you're drunk or not. There's been other cases where people have been jailed. Anyway, Poki's main point that involved the situation with Yvonnie was that she wasn't really the one that was trying to get her fired. It was actually Fed, which she did back up with sufficient evidence, I guess. Another thing that Poki called out was the hotel situation that happened between her and Fed, and how Fed put it in his original leaked file or document. It was apparently misleading. The text as well, the screenshots were misleading, and pretty much she sums it up as basically just her trying to help Fed, I guess, somehow by sharing rooms with other girls and herself as well, since that's really gonna do anything to help him. I can understand what she's trying to do, but it's really just pointless. He's just trying to move on. Basically, in other words, she's trying to say there was a false impression put on the audience, trying to make it look romantic when it wasn't really supposed to be a romantic situation. But either way, she should have specified the fact that there was going to be more people there, because it's very easy to misunderstand or misinterpret that and see it the complete wrong way. So it's just better to be specific, especially in difficult situations or difficult relationships like this. And then she obviously showed evidence and proof that it was her and some other friends. And then finally, the Jodi thing that happened with Fed trying to basically say that Poki was... It looked like she was being jealous and didn't want Fed to start up a new relationship with other people or to move on. That's the impression that I got. And normally, I'll talk about all the texts, but I'm only going to talk about one because this is the most impactful or most basically important one that really draws, well, in my opinion, important one that really draws out Fed for lying, was the text that basically Poki was tuning into one of Jodi's streams and she was talking about Fed and she just left, and it seemed like pretty toxic for one. And before you actually saw what Fed said after, which was basically encouraging her to continue dissing Jodi. You would think that Poki was just leading him straight on, or she was just being ruthless with him. She was just pulling strings. Like, one day she'd want him and they'd be acting all coupley, and the next day she would just want to be friends like normal. So I think that's the biggest thing people have caught on to, the fact that he's done that. Clearly he didn't give enough context on purpose. It wasn't that it was just accidental or too private. He just chose to not add that extra 2 lines that he put there, which is 100% to blame on him. He could have easily deleted the messages if he wanted. Like, he could have just done that, but it would still come up as a bit suspicious, I guess. But either way, it was still just really dumb to add that in your leaked doc and not expect Poki to put the true story in her response. Anyway, I'm not planning on making this video too long, so I'm gonna see you guys later. Also, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a thumbs down, I guess. And if you want to subscribe, it would help.